This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Wednesday, October the 31st. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, opposition leader and independent member of Parliament for St. Michael West, Bishop Joseph Atherley, has announced his intention to join a political party to contest the next general election. However, while saying it was too early to name the party, Bishop Atherley ruled out any possibility of ever trying to return to the ruling Barbados Labour Party, under whose banner he convincingly won his seat in the May 24th general election before resigning to become opposition leader. Bishop Atherley's comments come on the heels of a resolution passed by the BLP's 80th annual conference at the Law School St. John over the weekend, giving political leader and Prime Minister Mia Mottley the green light to select a replacement candidate in St. Michael West.
If I am running again, I do not intend to continue as an independent.
So expand on that, please.
I don't know where to expand and take it. If I intend to run again, and that would be dependent upon how God leads and the voices of the people as I'll be able to discern them, I will offer myself to continue to serve. If I do that, it will not be as an independent.
As public workers continue to receive their walking papers under the government's restructuring program, one of their bargaining agents, the Barbados Workers Union, yesterday issued a strong warning to the Mia Mottley-led administration regarding its selection process. Not only that, the BWU has turned down today's deadline given by the management of the Rural Development Commission to lay off some 20 workers. But consultant and former General Secretary of the union, Sir Roy Trotman, who met with the RDC's top management officials Monday, did not take kindly to the tone of a letter dated October 25th and sent to the workers, setting October 31st as their last day on the job. The union will be meeting with the RDC workers tomorrow. Sir Roy told Barbados Today that the union took exception to the short period allowed for proper consultation on behalf of the affected workers. Now, he is concerned that other state-owned corporations appear to be adopting this approach to the retrenchments, the latest being the Transport Board, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, and one other whose workers, he said, received termination letters yesterday.
As a concern, they are all raising the question of reduction in numbers. And in all three cases, they are talking in terms of having an abbreviated consultation exercise. And that is a major source of concern for us, because if the law says you should do something, we are of the view that you should follow the law, especially since the person who is going to suffer is a worker who's going to lose his income, his job, his livelihood, maybe his future. So you can't be taking shortcuts and telling us that you want now to forget to follow the process that we went to great trouble to set up since 1992.
Meanwhile, BWU General Secretary Tony Moore is cautioning the government that it will not stand idly by and watch it use previously flawed criteria to retrench workers.
The BWU is not going to allow government now to turn to past deficiencies or misdemeanors to select employees for retrenchment, not without insisting that employees should be given reasonable opportunity to answer charges relating to work performance or to conduct. At the very least, employees would need, on an individual basis, to be given the opportunity to respond before final assessments could be submitted on them.
In other news now, 4 months into road repairs on the collapsed and collapsing main artery roads of the rural community of White Hill, St. Andrew, Minister of Transport and Works William Duguid is reporting slow progress. On Tuesday morning, Duguid told Barbados Today while his ministry was still moving ahead to salvage the community's only access road after rains washed it away in 2014, the project had hit a few snags. Topping these was access to certain raw materials for the construction of the supporting gabions.
As you know, there were two sections of Whitehill. The first section that completely collapsed, and then there's a second section that was eroding and about to collapse. And that section that was eroding and about to collapse, we have started to build some gabions to be able to reinforce that section of the road. Because if that section had collapsed, the people in the middle would be completely cut off. So that's the first thing that we're doing. We had some challenges sourcing the boulders for the gabions, but that is ongoing, and they're continuing to build up there. It's not an easy place to work because there's land slippage up there. So that section, I'm happy of how the work is progressing slowly, but it is difficult work. So I appreciate that our ministry will continue to work to get that to bring that particular area to a resolution.
Businesses have reopened on Bolton Lane, the city, 2 weeks after fire swept through the area. When a Barbados Today team visited on Monday, some of the affected were rebuilding, setting up mini shops along the street where they were having clearance sales.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We're back with news from the region now. The cash-strapped regional airline LIAT is proposing a salary freeze for the next 3 years for its employees, and that future salary increases be dependent on employee performance. These proposals form the basis of discussions that took place in Antigua on Tuesday between the airline and regional trade union representatives as they discussed the future of the Antigua-based airline, whose major shareholders are the governments of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says he intends to sign an executive order ending birthright citizenship in the country. The announcement comes as Trump escalates a fierce crackdown on immigration ahead of the midterm elections. More in this Reuters television report.
Vice President Mike Pence on Tuesday confirming Trump will push ahead with the plan he first raised in an interview with Axios.
We are looking at action that would reconsider birthright citizenship.
The move would target children born in the United States to non-citizens and immigrants who are in the country illegally. But Lawrence Hurley says the move is raising eyebrows in legal circles.
Most legal experts say that kind of action would not be allowed by the courts because it's outside of the realm of presidential power. It would effectively involve undoing a century of how the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution has been interpreted, which lays out who gets U.S. citizenship.
Trump's plan getting immediate pushback from a top Republican, Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, in a radio interview saying, quote, "You cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order."
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.